Okay, here we go again. That run was horrible. So let's just get a crit first up, Stealth Elf. Like, do your thing. Your 85% crit rate. Oh my god, Stealth Elf. Crit, please. 2 non-crits in a row. You're at 85% crit rate. What is going on here? Hey guys, welcome back to Skylanders Ring of Heroes. This video we're going to be going through a 2 Skylander team that can actually 3-star B8 dungeon. Now, in my previous video where I did it with my Stormblade, who has currently got no runes, I was talking about other free-to-play options. I talked about the Boomer and stuff like that. In this one, I've actually been farming B8 using only my Whirlwind and Stealth Elf. And just on some of the auto farming 10x runs, I'd seen some times under 3 minutes. So I thought it'd be relevant to sort of make a video talking about the sort of stats you need on Stealth Elf to be able to do those sorts of runs and take you through the basic strategy on how to get those fast runs. Now, I'm also going to talk about other options that another YouTuber has made, and it works really well, and he used an idea that I'd never thought about it, so we'll talk about that as well. But first I'll just go through my Stealth Elf. Now, for the sub 3 minute runs, I think you're going to need to have a crit Stealth Elf. One of my guildies has actually done this as well, and I'm pretty sure his Stealth Elf had crit rate and attack. Mine has crit rate and crit damage, so I think both of them will work. I just think the crits are very important to be proccing the AoE, getting more spread pressure on the waves, and also clearing that boss quicker. So this is my Stealth Elf stats. The crit rate's at 85. When I started noticing the 3 minute runs with the 2-man, my crit rate was only at about, I think, 77 or 78. And she had a little bit less attack. I think she had like 4,600 attack. But I have got a few upgrades since then. So I'll go through the runes on my Stealth Elf, and then we will go through a run, and I'll show you the strat. But then if it doesn't work, I'll sit here and record runs until I get it. Because with this, the thing about it is, you're not going to just go in and get it first try. It will take you a few runs to get the good RNG. Because with critting, even though mine's is at 85% crit rate, glancing is a thing, so I understand that glancing makes you not crit, but besides the glancing, I think block has something to do with not critting, because when I take glances out of the equation, I think my Stealth Elf is critting probably 40-ish% of the time. I don't know what the go is with that. If we just look over here, if anyone does know, please let me know, because I'd like to get the information out there for everyone. But I don't know exactly how crit's calculated. But if we go over here to stats, and we go down to block rate, which is the second bottom, chance of blocking and attack. Chance may vary depending on the opponent's crit rate. So I'm thinking block rate does affect the crit rate, but I'm not 100% sure in what sort of method it does, whether it's like your crit rate minus the enemy's block rate equals your chance to crit. I thought you could block normal attacks as well, which reduce the damage they do. And I don't know if blocking a crit just reduces the crit damage or whether it makes it not crit. So these are all unknown things that I'm not too sure about. And I'll try and get the answers for you guys. But if anyone does know, please let me know, because I am noticing really low crit rates even though I'm at 85. So that's why I say it is going to take a few runs to get the RNG with the crits on your Stealth Elf to really get through it. But we'll go through my runes. So the thing you'll notice about my runes is I think one of these runes I got from B8, the rest are from B7. So it is very doable with B7 runes. You will have to farm it for a bit, get the lucky RNG, get the rune drops, obviously, but this is where mine's at. So this is a 5-star rune. This one was lucky, it had 12% crit. As you can see down the bottom there, I do have 6-star runes for the strike set for that slot, which would give me way more attack. But for now, I'm just trying to keep my crit rate as high as possible. So that's why I've got that one there. I did max that out to 15. This is only a 5-star crit rate rune. It did get some nice rolls into flat attack on it, which help a bit too. But yeah, that's plus 15 just to get that 28% crit rate. Obviously, if you had a 6-star crit rate rune, it would be better. I did get a 6-star one, but due to it not being a strike set, and I just couldn't work my runes around to actually make this one end up giving me more crit, even if it was at plus 15. So that one stayed out. This one is just there, another 5-star, just there because of the 10% crit rate. This one is horrible, being defense percent. I think a 4-star flat rune on a 4-star flat defense rune on this slot at plus 12 would give me more defense than this 5-star 29%, just because of the low base defense of the Stealth Elf. But this one did get a nice roll into attack, and then it's also got the crit rate. That's why I'm using it. Then we also have this one here, which is still a 4-star rune. It was a legendary drop at 4-star. I didn't even bother powering up to 12. It's got the 5 crit rate, which isn't that great either, but that's just sitting there for that. And then we have this crit damage rune, which did drop from B7 for me. It was a white rune when it dropped. Did roll into the attack percent and attack flat, which was real nice. Crit rate would have been amazing, but you know, you get what you're given. So those are my runes. Only the one 6-star rune on the Stealth Elf for these runs. Like I said, crit rate's the main thing you're going for. Strike set is optimal. And yeah, those are my basic stats. I'm still trying to get the stats from the guildie who managed to do this as well. And if I do get them before I upload this video, I'll put them in right now and just show you a screenshot of his stats for his Stealth Elf and his Whirlwind. Now, the Stealth, I'm pretty sure he actually used the, like I said, attack rune on slot 6, so I think they both work. Now, the Whirlwind isn't too vital. As you can see, mine's is getting fairly tanky now, so Whirlwind damage doesn't matter. Basically, what the Whirlwind is, you want to make it tankier, just to basically improve the reliability of the runs. Has no real effect on the 3-star. You'll be able to get 3-star with a bit of a squishy Whirlwind anyway. Just like I said, it's going to take multiple runs and all RNG. So my Whirlwind, I've just gone for all broken sets just to get the stats there. So as you can see, I've got the 6-star rune here for the attack. The regen heal being based off attack, you do want the attack. I haven't actually got any 6-star attack runes for these 2 slots yet, so they're just staying at 5-star plus 12s. This one is another 5-star. I don't have any 6-stars for that slot yet. As soon as I get a 6-star, I'll power her up just to give her that more tankiness, because she will be holding the aggro in the waves, and sometimes she can die in the waves when she doesn't have very good stats. I've then got a flat defense here, which is really handy. Get that flat defense, get those stats up. I've got a 6-star here as well, which is really nice. I've put it up to plus 15 just to get her those stats. Did have the attack sub, which at 273, which is really nice, increasing that heal and a little bit of the damage, but the damage isn't what we're looking at on the Whirlwind. And then the final slot is, like I said, that flat attack rune. So not the best runes. Yes, I got a few 6-stars on there, but because I'm doing broken, most people will be able to get to these sorts of stats after farming B7 for a couple days or a few days and getting some runes. So that's the stats where they're at. So the other thing I wanted to talk about before we go into a run is another option, and this one HOADSKI showed me. Now he does some YouTube videos and he streams on Twitch, so I'll leave his links in the description. And he was doing one that I'd never thought about. So I'm a big one on streamlining progression, and so what he's done, I've got the Whirlwind option here, and I know a lot of people don't want to build the Whirlwind because you do have to skill it up to make her sort of workable, and that's fine. The option he used I found really awesome, because he built Wham Shell, which is a unit you're going to have to probably build for B9. You won't have to, but it's the option I'm going with because I know it works. Wham Shell's amazing with Boomer, but he built the Wham Shell. It's a fairly easy farm too, because it's on scenario 9 on easy, so you can farm him pretty quick. And so he had a 6-star Awakened Wham Shell as his tank. So that Wham Shell is basically serving the same purpose of this Whirlwind, basically tanking all the hits in the waves, and then tanking the focus aggro from the boss. And that's the main idea. And the whole thing with this is, my Stealth Elf, if you kill the boss before the revenge, the boss won't really kill Stealth Elf anyway. So you basically just want to damage the boss, survive through the waves, and then kill the boss before his revenge. That's the whole idea behind these teams. So he built the Wham Shell, and then he was using the Stealth Elf. So I'm thinking with these stats, you could do it the same, just 2 mana with the Stealth Elf and the Whirlwind. But the option he went with, which I hadn't even thought of, because it's not technically farmable, but during the launch phase, if you're watching this video way down in the future, you might not be able to get this option. I still think you'll be able to 2-man it with the Stealth Elf and the Wham Shell, if that's what you're going with. Preferably a Broccoli Guy healer as well. But he went with the Super Shot Stealth Elf as well. And as you can see, these skills, you've got the charge skill, and it's basically a free mana skill, and then it attacks the enemy, has extra crit rate, all that sort of good stuff. And you can see 30% to AoE at the start of a round. So you go into a round, if you get lucky RNG, you can proc this at the start, get that AoE spread pressure onto the enemies, maybe weaken them to the point that your normal Stealth Elf can one-shot them. And then what you can do is, you've got the accuracy in duels, but that's not going to come into play at all. But what you can do is you can almost even ignore this skill because it's very expensive, Unawaken. But just having this skill as a charge skill with 0 mana, she can sit there in the side and charge that up and nuke an enemy in between your normal Stealth Elf's cooldowns, which will speed up the run. So that was a really interesting technique that I saw him use, and I really like that, just thinking outside the box, because at the early launch phase, you can get this Super Shot Stealth Elf from the tower and from daily logins. You will be able to make her 5-star fairly easy. As you can see, I've got 175 shards there, and that should be enough to actually 5-star her straight up, and that's when you get the usefulness. Just when you do it on manual, you just be charging this skill and using it on cooldown in between your Stealth Elf skills just to speed up the waves and then obviously get more damage in on the boss faster, and that's how he managed to get his 3-star runs. And that's something that I respect that idea, because I'd never thought of it, so I just thought I'd give him a shout out there and tell you that idea if you were looking for something different. So on the same token, if you're using the Whirlwind and Stealth Elf and you're looking for that little bit extra damage because you just think you're not quite at the room quality on your Stealth Elf, if you throw that Super Shot in there at 5-star, you might be able to get it. So without going through anything else, we will jump into an actual run, and I'll try and do it. And like I said, if I don't, at the end of the video, I will put in clips because I'll sit here and try and get the 3-star until we get it. But like I said, it will be RNG based on getting those crits and stuff like that. So that's all I take in. I take in Stealth Elf with skill 1 and skill 2, and then the Whirlwind with skill 1 and skill 3. The Whirlwind, I pretty much just spam the charge skill and that's it. And then the Stealth Elf, obviously, I just spam the attacks. But I'll talk through what I'm doing as I go through it. We'll just do it on the 2x speed to try and make it more reliable. I'll put it on manual. So the first thing you're going to want to do is target the big guy in the middle and then hit him with your 2 Stealth Elf attacks. As you can see, bad RNG, missed the crit already. Get that crit, but that might not be enough because... No, we're alright. So I'm going to attack another unit because the AoE is going to kill him. Rely on that AoE to proc. Get lucky and then go on. Now I'm going to attack the healers next because they're the next annoying ones because they put that continuous heal. So get rid of the healers and now we should be pretty good. I'll just put that heal on in case they armor break me, and then attack these 2 guys as well. And as you can see, I'm not critting much. It is really frustrating, but if you get the crits, it will work a lot better. So there we go, get the crit, get them down. But the key is getting rid of that big guy in the middle early on, just because, like I said, he does put a defense buff on, which is going to really slow down your runs. And as you can see, I'm having no luck with this big guy getting crits. My 85% crit rate Stealth Elf is not critting. There's that defense buff, so this run is not going to be successful. That's 3 non-crits in a row. But yeah, you can see the general idea why I say you have to do multiple runs, because it's just not that reliable on the crits. I think I've had 4 or 5 attacks this round, and I still haven't crit once. So, yeah, like, it is what it is. Like, oh, this is a horrible run. All right, we're going to cut here, and we're going to come back to another run because this is horrible. Okay, here we go again. That last run was horrible. So, like I said, the crit rate thing is a real unknown to me. So there we go again. Stealth Elf not critting. That's why I said this will take a fair few runs for you to get, just purely because of that Stealth Elf not wanting to crit. We needed to crit far out. Okay, here we go again. That run was horrible. So let's just get a crit first up, Stealth Elf. Like, do your thing. Your 85% crit rate. Oh my god, Stealth Elf. Crit, please. 2 non-crits in a row. You're at 85% crit rate. What is going on here? I'm just going to leave it on auto and see what happens. There we go. We get the crit. But they've already got the defense buff, so the run's already dead. So let's restart that. Oh my god. Okay, here we go again. That run was horrible. So let's hit the big guy again. We just need Stealth Elf to crit first up, and then we're pretty much good. Oh, no, Stealth Elf, what are you doing? Double missed crit. Oh, this is just brutal right here. Alright, now if we crit it in here, we'll be okay. Stealth Elf. Okay, back again. That was another horrible run. Let's hit the bot. Let's hit the big guy again. Let's just hit him with Stealth Elf. Let's get the crit straight up. Wow. There we go. Okay, we might be okay now. If we can hit the healer and we can get him before the defense buff comes up, we might be okay. Okay, we got the crit. That's what we needed. Let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling with it. We just need to keep these crits happening. Get a crit. Get a crit, Stealth Elf. Yes. Okay, proc that AoE. If we hit this guy with the second skill again, he'll kill both of them. Sorry, we will kill both of them, and then we'll be pretty good, and the run will be looking decent. So crit, thank you. Proc the AoE, beautiful, okay. Alright, let's do this. Get the big guy again, then into the healers. Let's go. Come on, Stealth Elf. Yes, the crit straight up. Exactly what we needed. Let's hit the healer. Oh, I missed that. That's alright, we'll be right. Now I might put in a hit from the whirlwind just to get that extra damage in so that this crit will kill. And then we can get that. Yes, nice. Hopefully that'll kill the left guy, and then we can attack this guy. We didn't get it. So we will do the whirlwind attack again, and hopefully the whirlwind clutches the kill. Beautiful. So this is looking like a really good run. So now it's just hit the boss. We'll charge up whirlwind. And this is where we just need crits. This is where the Stealth Elf can really let us down and not crit. So let's hope we can get some crits here and get some damage rolling. So we'll put that heal up from the whirlwind just so we can get the cleanse up there. And then from there on, we're just going to purely attack with the Stealth Elf and try and get that 3-minute run. And hopefully the boss doesn't kill the whirlwind. I think the whirlwind's right. We've got the regen rolling. Hopefully he'll attack the broccoli guy with the blow next time. Nope, he's gone for the Stealth Elf. So we might charge up. Hopefully we can land these 2 attacks, and that should do it. So even if these don't crit, we should be there for the 3-minute run. Please crit. No, okay, there we go. But as you can see, there we go. That was the 2-minute 40. So... And as you can see, I don't know why, but Stealth Elf at 85% crit doesn't want to crit that much. So luckily on those runs, we did crit on the waves a couple times and so on. But as you can see, that's why I say it will take time, because the crit rate is a real unknown to me why it's not critting as often as it should be. But that was the 3-minute run with just the 2-man. And like I said, even if you have lower crit rate and lower crit damage, even if you go for that attack build, I think you'll still be able to get it. It's just a matter of targeting those big guys in the middle. The real key is to kill them before they get an attack, because if they get their attack, they'll put the defense buff on, and it's really going to slow down the rest of the units to get through. But in general, kill those big guys with your crits, and then you're pretty much set as long as you keep critting. Now, it is the big issue, critting. Like I said, I did see some sub 3-minute runs on about 77% crit rate. But yeah, Stealth Elf is definitely not critting 85% of the time. However, if you just keep trying for that good run where you do get the crits, you should be pretty safe. As for moving from the 3-star run into just a reliable 10 times auto run, this team is fairly reliable now at my stats. It's sort of about, I'd say 90 to 95. Sometimes I'll get 10 drops on the 10x, sometimes I'll get 9, so it's fairly reliable. It basically comes down to if Stealth Elf does not crit on the boss, so in the 10 attacks until the boss revenges, basically on my stats, I need Stealth Elf to crit twice. If she doesn't crit twice, the boss will get to his revenge and sometimes wipe me. But sometimes my whirlwind at her stats, depending when she gets knocked down, stuff like that, if the regen's rolling, she can actually survive and solo the rest of the boss if he's at low enough HP, with the broccoli guy to help out. So yeah, it just comes down to Stealth Elf critting. So I'm really trying to push and get upgrades to get my Stealth Elf to 100% crit rate so that she will actually crit, hopefully more often. But like I said, I have no idea how that block rate affects crit and stuff like that. So if anyone does know, let me know. If not, I'll keep trying to find out, and I will let you guys know once I do find that out. But yeah, that's the sub 3-minute team with just the Stealth Elf and the Whirlwind. Like I said, if you're struggling for the damage, maybe try that Super Shot Stealth Elf, because we do have a lot of free shards for her, and we could get her to 5-star and hopefully help with that damage. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. The next video I make, after the healer video I made, I just tried to cover the healers that I'd had been asked about the most, and I knew it was going to happen after I made that video. Basically, someone commented asking about every other healer, and like I said, I haven't tested them all, but I think you guys just want to get just have a discussion about them and hear some thoughts. So I might make a part 2 to that video, talking a bit more about the other healers and some more healing features, kind of like the crit on heals and stuff like that. So that's probably another video I'll make tomorrow, if I have time tomorrow, if not the next day. But thanks for watching this one, guys, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.